Okay, we have a special cigar here today.
And rum.
The Plasencia Alma Fuerte Sisto2 with Dorado 12-year rum.
Rum.
Thanks for tuning into Cigars, Liquor, and More as we join our buddies Bill
Howdy.
and our other brother Daryl
Smoke up, Johnny.
having fun in 2021. Broadcasting from our studio speakeasy as they talk about cigars, liquor, and anything else that comes to mind.
All right. Well, this is an interesting Plasencia.
It's an
in that
interesting
it is
press.
hexagonally pressed.
It is.
Yes.
Pretty
Exquisitely
cool.
aged. Look at the beauty of the wrapper.
Ah, that's gorgeous.
Pretty.
The shape is
yes.
cool, too. So it's almost round. It's almost round, and it's not going to roll off of anything.
No, it's in the middle. It is a 6x60, so it's a big boy.
It is a big boy.
It is a Nicaraguan Habano Maduro wrapper, and then Nicaraguan binder and filler. And I think we paid 20 for these at Good Karma, right?
Good karma.
Were they 20 or were they more? 22?
I want to say there were 20.
Okay, 20. El Dorado, 12-year. This is Demerara.
Yeah, say that
Distillers
again.
of Guyana. A blend of aged rums, all at least 12 years old. The rums are distilled using a combination of stills, including Enmore and Diamond Coffee stills, and Port Mourant, a double wooden pot still, aged in bourbon oak casks, bottled at 80 proof. MSRP is $29. All right.
Can't argue with
And
that.
from their own website, I like reading their creative writing. Lush tropical fruit and spice nose with hints of honey and dark sugar. The profile is round, mellow, and full-bodied with rich flavors of fruits and spice. The finish is delightful, elegant, and dry. I wouldn't call it super dry. It's on the drier side. It's not a sweet one, but it's not super dry. Anyway. The Plasencia cold draw. You didn't get a cold draw, did you?
What's a cold draw?
It's actually really mild. It's kind of like a sweetness, and then just really mild, maybe a little wood, little tree, something like that.
Little bit of tobacco plant, maybe?
Yeah, smacks of tobacco. Well, it's really mild. It is. The cold draw is really mild, just a little sweetness. Not like
but we're
a
not
flavored. No, nothing like that.
With everything being Nicaraguan, you would not expect this to be mild.
No, I would not. No, correct.
And the largest gauge that will fit in the Colibri
Cutter? Yeah.
V cutter.
Yeah.
But it worked. It worked. I do like the V cut.
Well, while we warm up our cigars, let's sit on this El Dorado for a bit. Now, we've had the El Dorado on the show before, but it was a long time ago, probably in excess of a year.
Well, time to bring it back. Not an overly fragrant nose, but still
Nope,
pleasant,
just a
quite
little-
pleasant.
Yeah, just a little bit of vanilla for me. But doesn't come off like you're sniffing alcohol either.
Nope, no, not at all, not at all.
Okay.
Got a nice long finish.
I don't have the tropical
it.
fruit, but it definitely has. You're right. It does have a really long finish. The honey and dark sugar, I'd agree with. I don't know. I mean, I'm just missing the tropical fruit. Maybe I'm insensitive to that. Are you picking up tropical fruit?
No fruit. Maybe later. Not now. No fruit.
Huh. No. It's a little woody, but, so it goes.
So it goes.
You definitely don't want to say that about a bourbon, right?
Yeah.
Everybody goes, oh, it's over oaked or what? I don't know. You put it in barrels. It's got to taste a little bit like it, right?
Yes.
You can't go, oh,
Otherwise,
no.
you don't have an aging process.
Yeah, I'm like, of course it tastes like a little oaky.
It should.
I feel like you're whining.
It should taste a little bit like wood. Mm-hmm. That's the process.
If it doesn't, it makes me wonder if they put it in a barrel.
At all, yes. If not, they just put some caramel in it for color.
Well,
and watered down the white dog. That's all they did.
Right, probably. Now, I did get a little more on this because this is a pretty unique one, and the guy at the shop was like, "No, this is the one to get. You gotta try this."
He was.
Yeah, he was very on this.
Yeah.
So I looked it up. Okay, Plasencia Alma Fuerte, a unique blend of our best aged tobaccos grown in our highest quality soil, accentuating their bold, vibrant, and intense flavors, laced with hints of dark chocolate and plum, and cinnamon. The taste is rounded out with finishing notes of oaken molasses. The Plasencia Alma Fuerte Sisto 1 is our newest blend in the Fuente collection. This is the 2, though.
Did you write down the wrong one?
While made like the rest of the Almas with a 10-year aging process, its Colorado Claro wrapper and hexagonal shape creates a distinctive taste with a tempered body. So, yes, I got the 1 because this is not a Colorado Claro.
No.
This is the Habano Maduro. So skip the second
It's
part.
okay.
Skip the second part.
Everybody makes mistakes. No worries.
Well,
man.
the first part, I know the first part's correct. I did do it in two. I did in 2 sections, and I must have grabbed the wrong second section.
That's okay. That's okay. Shit happens.
It's tasty though. I like it.
It is, but
Like
it's
quickly.
not. But it's not. It's not bold and spicy right off the bat.
No. Maybe it is going to turn out to be more of a solid medium because I was not, in the.
Nice
that was a good
ring.
smoke ring. That was a good
Nice
heavy smoke ring. So maybe this is going to end up being a medium after all.
So far, it's kind of shaping out to be that way.
Yeah. Well, I'm liking it though. I get it.
It's got
I
a.
get why people like it.
It's got a flavor that I can't quite place.
So
Kind of a unique flavor too.
it is. I'm not getting dark chocolate, plum, or cinnamon.
I never get chocolate, so I'm not concerned about that one. And I have no idea what plum tastes like.
Got a great retrohale, by the way. Have you tried that?
I have not.
It's really smooth. It's really mild. It is very pleasant.
Whoa. Yeah.
And it's what's giving me,
You could retrohale the whole thing.
yeah, probably. It's really, really quite pleasant. I'm getting sort of like a mildew must, combination of mildew must, a little earthiness, a little mildew must, and there's something in the very, very back. Like when you're done, you've already blown out all the smoke. You take a breath, you do another exhale. There's something there. It's mild. I'll come up with it. Nice though.
I'm really
He's right.
surprised.
This is a really great stick.
I'm really
already.
surprised how everything being Nicaraguan that this is this mild.
10 years aged. Maybe it took a little of the edge off.
Maybe the age did it. But yeah, this is
Not edgy at all.
he's definitely right. Good tobacconist. That's a good tobacconist right there.
So I thought this was a medium. I know it was kind of listed as a bold, but that's kind of why I picked a not so sweet rum. I wanted a rum because I thought it was going to be on the bold side, but I didn't think it was going to. I thought it was still kind of going to be a medium. I thought it might be a heavy body, like leave a coating.
Graphite.
Graphite. That's what you got, huh?
I think that's the
weird thing.
the interesting flavor that I'm getting. Kind of as I went around the flavor wheel, kind of stopped at the mineral section. I looked a little deeper in the color wheel and saw graphite. It's like, it does kind of have that feeling to it. So I'm going to go with graphite.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm liking this cigar right away. Because we're barely a half inch in, and it's really nice.
It is extremely nice.
I see why
This
he
starts
plugged
out
it
really
so
good.
much.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, at 20 bones, there's a lot of $20 cigars out there. I'm going to put this one pretty high on those other $20 cigar comparisons.
You betcha. You betcha.
I mean, I put this up against the 1964.
Yeah.
I'd put this up against, well, aren't all the Cohibas around $20?
Yep.
Put it up against all of them. This has got a really great flavor. And I'm not a huge Plasencia fan. Like, they don't catch my eye a lot. I don't know why. They did a TPE.
Oh, yeah.
The guy was really nice. We talked to him for quite a while. And I wanted to try more. And we have tried more Plasencia cigars, actually. But
weren't they at the? They were at the underground event as well.
you're also there. And this one is definitely going to make me look at the brand again. Because, wow, this is very pleasant. It is warming up and it's changing a little bit. I'm starting to get some spice, but I'm going to give it a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Wow, quite pleasant.
something bothered me. I got it on...
Something bothered you? No.
Yep, I got it on CNN. The first living robots can now reproduce.
Oh, that's what we need. Reproducing robots.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. All right.
Skynet, here we come.
Uh-huh.
Oh, before you get into that, I think the ladder's on its last leg.
You mean for gas, or you mean like it's actually malfunctioning?
No, it's actually malfunctioning.
Oh, come on. That is a brand new lighter.
It
That's like 3 months old, right?
I have to turn it up really close to high to get it to light.
And then you turn it down.
But it won't relight once I turn it down.
Goodness gracious. This is what we're talking about. That was supposed to be a decent lighter, too.
Supposed to be a really good lighter. But the micro torch,
Soldiering
solid
on.
as a rock.
Yep.
Solid as a rock. You can't go wrong with those things.
That's frustrating.
And if you want, you could.
That's a heavy smoke.
Yeah, you could probably buy I don't know, what are those, like Etsy or something? Where, you know,
Get
where
it
the craft
bedazzled.
people do it. Yeah, get it bedazzled or whatever. Yeah, you know, if you want it to look more fancy,
Get it-
then you
get a
could do
wrap.
that. But
Get a wrap.
yeah, get a
put on
wrap
it
for it. Yeah.
some flames down the side, or you could give whatever brand you wanted. Just put it on, glue it on.
So Julia is getting an HK VP9
Already got it.
for Christmas, and yeah, she's looking at wraps
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's funny.
because supply's really short right now. So they didn't have any blacks, and they've got two colors: brown or tan, and a light green.
Okay.
So she got the light green, but she's looking at wraps.
Okay. Nice. That cigar's great. All right.
It's a really good cigar.
The U.S. scientists who created the first living robots say the life forms known as xenobots can now reproduce in a way not seen in plants and animals. Formed from so here's what they did. They took stem cells from the African clawed frog, Xenopus laevis, from which it takes its name, xenobots. They're less than a millimeter wide. They're tiny blobs that were first unveiled in 2020 after experiments showed they could move, work together in groups, and self-heal. Okay. Okay, now the scientists have developed them at the University of Vermont, Tufts University, and Harvard University's Wyss Institute for Biology-Inspired Engineering, and have said that they have discovered a new form of biological reproduction different from any animal or plant known to science. I was astounded by it, says Michael Levin, professor of biology and director of the Allen Discovery Center at Tufts University, where he co-led the research.
I was astounded. I just got the grant so that I could get me some income. I didn't think it'd come up with something.
I didn't think I'd discover a whole new way to reproduce. So, frogs have a way of reproducing that they normally use, but when you liberate the cells from the rest of the embryo, and you give them a chance to figure out
That's a funny
how
way
to
of
be in a
putting
new
that.
environment, not only do they figure out a new way to move, they also figure out apparently a new way to reproduce. Oh my God.
Well, how do you expect embryo cells to move?
Well, they
Why do
figured
you
it
call
out.
Why do you call it a new way of moving?
So there's a video of it, and basically they look like little blobs, and they got a little mouth like a Pac-Man. They even described it as a Pac-Man later on in the article, and they kind of like flop. They kind of, it's sort of like a heartbeat, like they just go boom, 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 and they move around. And the way they eat is they just kind of scoop up everything in their path like Pac-Man, and they grow by just scooping up stuff and getting bigger, and then they split.
They're Pac-Man cells. So why do they call them
It's
robots?
weird. Because they put tech in them. So
Making them with tech is different than having tech in them.
I believe they do have tech in them. Let me see. Oh, okay. So the parent rotates a large ball of stem cells that is maturing into a neat xenobot. The AI program, the AI didn't program these machines in the way we normally think about writing code. It shaped and sculpted and came up with this Pac-Man shape. So somehow the AI gave it its shape and told it what would be the most efficient shape. The shape is, in essence, the program. The shape influences how the xenobots behave to amplify this incredibly surprising process. So I guess they gave it like an algorithm to be successful, and it found a way to be more successful. It found the optimum shape. The xenobots are very early technology, think 1940s computer, and don't yet have any practical applications, think 1940s computer. However, this combination of molecular biology and artificial intelligence could potentially be used in a host of tasks in the body and environment, according to researchers. This may include things like collecting microplastics in the oceans, inspecting root systems, and regenerative medicine.
That's a stretch.
Well, if you told me we gave stem cells some thought and they made Pac-Man and figured out how to reproduce differently, I'd go, that's a stretch.
You've heard the thing about a blind squirrel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you get something and they move around, you put a bunch of them in there, they're going to eat everything that's in there eventually.
Well, I guess the
doesn't
hope
mean they're intelligent.
no,
about it.
didn't suggest that. But you know,
Hence the 1940s.
if they could take up microplastics in the ocean, or just, I don't care, just eat the dust in my house, whatever, just move around and do something useful to me, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, and then you'd step on them, squish them, and they'd have to eat themselves.
Then I'd breathe them in, and then they'd pair up with my lung tissue and start eating that.
Yep. Got to be careful what you ask for.
Yeah, you do. Okay, so while the prospect of self-replicating biotechnology could spark concern, you think, the researchers said that the living machines...
Right where I went to.
Yeah. They said they were entirely contained in the lab and easily extinguished, as they are biodegradable and regulated by ethics experts. Yeah, until it's in a lab in China.
No shit. No shit. Let's see. SARS was containable.
Yeah.
Until it went to China.
Actually, I think they said SARS probably came about from two different species co-infecting a common species. They think a man who had a regular flu, a pig that had swine flu, and a bat that had avian flu infected the pig with both of the avian and human. Those commingled, became SARS, and infected the owner of the pig.
All right. Is this a China theory or someone else theory?
I don't know whose theory it is. Easily extinguished. Okay.
Yeah, describe that for me. Throw water on them? Are they water soluble?
They seem to be moving around in a water medium. The research was partly funded by the Defense Advanced Research Projects.
DARPA.
Yeah, that couldn't possibly use anything nefarious by having DARPA fund it. federal agency that oversees development of technology for military use. So,
I wonder what that that project synopsis looked like.
right, what were they trying to do? That's the better question. Because
Because everything on DARPA has a description. We'd like this. We'd like to see this.
we like self-repairing army personnel.
Well, maybe, or some equipment or body armor, or I don't know. What do they? If they eat, they have to expel. Well, what do they expel?
I did not witness that in the video. I don't know. I don't know that they know.
It's just protein, so they should be able to analyze it and figure it out.
Don't know.
They are scientists, after all.
My understanding is, in fact, that everything poops.
Which is exactly where I was going.
I would like to know what DARPA was funding.
But
that
if
they're
they
like,
eat Kevlar, will they poop out Kevlar?
I don't know. That's a great question. Maybe what you really want is them to eat ocean plastic and poop out Kevlar.
That would be awesome. This is a damn nice cigar.
This is a damn nice cigar.
6x60 though. It's bigger than
it's a big one.
what we normally do on this show.
You remember how we used to love the Gordos, and then we got away from them for a good 6 months. I don't think I've had a
Longer.
Gordo for probably longer, probably a year.
Probably a year. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you turned that off.
So did I.
That's all right. The so I am getting like a clove. I'm getting a clove, so that's nice. Oh, it's starting to add that little kind of numbing effect too.
Nice. Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Okay.
That makes some nice smoke rings.
It does. I haven't
It's
made
got
a
a good, it's got a good heavy smoke to it.
It is. It reminds me of the DCO, the joint
Sure
chicken
does.
original.
Sure does.
Makes a really great smoke ring without the ceiling fans on.
Octagonal. I don't recall another press like this.
I've never seen an octagonal cigar. No, this is new. This is totally new.
This might be the way to go. It's a good happy ground between a box press and a square press and a round.
What is DARPA funding with frog embryos? It's just weird AF.
No, that's not how DARPA works.
I know.
DARPA says kind of what they want to achieve, and then as the people compete for the money, they figure that out. DARPA doesn't figure that out.
Okay.
DARPA is basically a funding agency. So they set requirements, and it's up to the individual teams to determine how they want to do something. Yeah, man.
That's a heavy one.
See, it just keeps on going. It's nice, heavy smoke and light. This is a nice, easy smoke. Mm-hmm. Good construction, nice, really nice draw.
This is a easy contender for a top cigar in the $20 range.
Yeah, it is.
I'm really, really surprised. And I shouldn't be. It's not like I've ever thought Plasencia was a garbage brand. I just
Oh no, they
didn't
have some good
expect,
sticks.
I just wasn't.
They have some good sticks, but
hadn't thought about them in a while.
10 years is a long time to hold on to that inventory, right?
Yeah,
so
it
you gotta, somebody's holding that inventory for a decade
That's a while.
before you make it into a stick. And then,
Even 6 years is a high
and then-
age.
Yeah, it is. And then to have an all Nicaraguan blend that's light, easy to smoke. Just about anybody could smoke this.
Yeah, it's a great medium. Mm-hmm. Actually, it kind of reminds me of some Cubans. Kind of got a Cuban element to it.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I kind of agree with you. We're going to take a little break.
Cool.
We'll be right back.
With a name.
Enjoy the any time of the day cigar. Drunk Chicken cigars are nub-alicious, so good you'll smoke it to a nub. You can get 10% off your order at drunkchickencigars.com by using the promo code CLM2020.
All right, we're back. Yep.
So our winner for this week is Sherman Elliston, Eleston. I apologize if I screwed your name up, but give us a holler, and we will be more than happy to send you free stuff in the mail, such as 2 Drunk Chicken cigars, CLM swag, and who knows what else. You might get a lighter, you might get a cutter, you might get a coaster.
You might get all 3.
Who knows? You might get all 3. Listen to that. Listen to that. Sign up and get stuff. Can't be that bad. Nice.
All right, here we are. Oh man, this is a long smoke. I am only an inch in on this thing, and we're 25 minutes in.
Yes.
Holy mackerel! I'm never gonna finish it.
We're gonna have to do 2 shows with this.
Yeah. Show number 2.
Plasencia, part 2.
So they do have the foot band, which I'm not a fan of. But what's funny is, even the main band is in 3 sections. Or
2 sections.
Even the band is in 3 sections. You got the foot band, then the main band is 2 separate bands.
Yeah. Now the foot band was a little interesting. I was able to slide it off, but it didn't come that easy. And the barcode, the barcode partially covered where the seam was. So had to be a little bit easy with that.
Look at that.
I know.
It's just
stays
hanging there. It's the same weight as the air, apparently. It just hangs there like a fog in Scotland.
I got heavy air.
Is that what you call it now?
That's what we call it. Well, this Plasencia deserves more El Dorado.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the combo of the El Dorado 12 and the Plasencia?
I like it. I think it's a good combo. I think it's got just the right amount of sweet. I think more sweet would irritate the cigar. I'm glad it didn't go too sweet on it. I like this one.
So after going through a little bit of this, I agree that it is a dry rum. It's not super dry. It's just it's mildly dry.
Right.
It's just on the dry side. And the flavor of the El Dorado, the flavor of this, they don't compete. They don't detract. They don't enhance. They're just kind of there and they coexist. It's really nice.
Yeah. It's a coexistent pair. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm liking this cigar. Man.
I'm pleasantly surprised. You look at that. You look at the blend on that, and you think,
I thought it was going to be stronger.
This is going to be an ultra strong cigar, especially in a 6x60. But no, it's quite amazing.
Yeah. Well, you know what? So far, the guys at Good Karma have not steered us wrong at all. They've made suggestions, and they have been on.
Yeah. When we walked in there, the first time I've only been there once. You've been there a couple of times.
Yeah.
But that one time we walked in there at the same time, one guy was talking to you, one guy was talking to me, and we were talking about what flavor profiles we like. And they, just the guy I was talking to just went through bam, 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 said, this, have you had this? Have you had this? Have you had this? And came up with some, pointed out some that I haven't had.
Uh-huh.
It's like that's awesome. And of course they had the Cohiba Royale there, and I hadn't had that yet. So that's the one.
That's the one we had before the event.
There. Yeah, because I've been itching to get me one of those.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really nice. And then just the knowledge of being able to take what it is that you like, what it is that you tell them, and point out ones that go really, really damn well with that is just fabulous.
Hey,
That's
he
what
was
you
right about
want
this
in a
one.
tobacco.
We were looking at 2 of the Plasencias, and I'm like, all right, if you're getting one, which one are you getting? And he's like, that one. Totally. Because I wanted to get something there because, you know, one of the things we liked about Good Caramel was they had a selection we weren't seeing in Dallas.
Yes.
And so I was like, okay, I'm looking at a Plasencia because we don't see them a lot in Dallas. They're just, that may be another reason we also didn't feature a lot of them on the shows. I don't run across them that much.
Right.
So we were definitely getting one there. And he was like, oh, this one. This is the one.
And spot on.
Yeah.
Absolutely spot on.
Nice.
It's just it's crazy.
Yeah, and I like the combo. This is going well.
Yeah, you picked a good liquor for that one.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh, Nelly.
You've actually done a pretty good job of pairing. Yeah.
I like the way you did actually, like I wasn't expected to do well. Surprisingly, you've been competent.
Surprisingly, you have met expectations.
Nice. I feel like I'm in an annual review. You've met expectations. Yay. Do I get my 2% this year?
So when I worked retail and I had employees, I had to do the yearly reviews
suck.
for the employees. And by that, I mean I had to fill it all out. And then I have a one-on-one with them, and we go through it. They ask questions, and, you know, I tell them why I did what I did. And sometimes they agree, sometimes they don't. But, yeah. And so I go to work for the company I'm working for, and it's like, oh, good, somebody else gets to do mine. Nope, you got to do your own.
Yeah.
You got to
Same.
fill all your stuff out.
I've got to do mine too.
So it's been that way for over 20 years now. Apparently, I'm just destined to do this.
You know, I wonder what companies are going to have to do in the age of inflation. Because we've got this 4 and 6% inflation this year.
Yep.
I think they
Really
decided
high.
on. I don't know what's going to average out to. I know for certain months they report it, and so I don't know what the year's going to average out to. Let's say it averages to 3 or 4 though, and next year also does 4 or something like that. Well, their raises are going to have to be bigger now, because if you're not matching inflation, then I'm not getting a raise.
They don't look at it like
I
that.
know they don't look at it that way,
Neither does the government.
but I'm gonna probably say something.
Yeah, I don't know what mine's going to be. This is going to be my first full year in this group. So I don't know.
Well, I've never gotten a 6% raise, but if we have 6% inflation, I'm gonna be like, hey, all right, let's talk.
I have.
Yeah, you've made much larger job leaps, though.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's kind of strange, you know, joining a group when everybody's working from home. I know what some of the folks are working on, but I don't get to see them work. I don't get to interact with them personally.
Right.
So it's a little bit different in gauging, you know, where I might stand. I have a pretty good idea where I stand,
Yeah.
but you know,
Sure.
I could be bumping myself up more than I think. I doubt it.
You know, now that I think about it, I'm gonna make a correction. I have gotten a raise over 6%, but it has been in job grade increases, not a regular
yearly
review. Yeah. But they're going to have to contend with that. because the job market's already tight, and it's on the employee side right now. So they're probably going to have to do something about not meeting inflation.
Yeah. The compensation packages mean something.
Well, here's the thing. This is what normally happens. You really don't get a good raise. You really don't get a really good raise. You really don't get a really good raise. And then 5 years pile up. And then you realize that the other company, well, they had to make incoming jobs higher because inflation has existed. Mm-hmm. And new hires get hired in at a higher level. So you go change companies just so you can reset your salary level. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, if you don't want to keep training people and losing them, you have to give them that cost of living increase at least. It'd be nice to be like 1% over inflation.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what companies overall do, especially the semiconductor companies, which is the area
officially,
we work in.
I'm most interested in what my company's going to do.
Yeah, no kidding there. Speaking of semiconductor companies,
They
so
have to
all
do
this
something.
all this stuff going on with China and Taiwan,
Yes.
right? Somebody has mentioned about a philosophy shift in our military. So we used to have, especially during the Cold War, it kind of started, and it's kind of the mutually assured destruction, right?
Yeah.
We have enough to completely obliterate you. That should be the deterrent. Mm-hmm. And things now have kind of shifted. So now they want to do deterrence by denial.
How's that? I'm not familiar with that description.
So let's just talk about land, because that's where we're going with Taiwan.
And China and the sea.
So
trying to declare man-made islands as ground.
Okay, so let's talk about territory. So you want to increase your territory. You want to increase your show of strength in a territory. So the denial part is denying them the strength or the show of force in that territory, right? So it's kind of like pinpointed mutual destruction.
Okay.
Right. So you're focusing your effort in a certain spot to deny your enemy or potential enemy resources that they could quickly take. China has come out and said on their state media that
the Tsmc
they could take.
Is that what you're talking about?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Yeah, they could take Taiwan.
I understand that.
in less than 48 hours.
Yeah, there's no reason they couldn't.
And it would take longer than 48 hours for U.S. and allies to mount a response. So they could completely take over the island. So one of the parts of the denial is one of the. So the TSMC is a
Taiwan Manufacturing Semiconductor Company.
Is a manufacturing facility that makes something like 80%.
It's 75 or 80. It's high.
Yeah, it's really high through the entire world.
Yeah,
80%, and so to deny that,
it's a crown jewel of Taiwan.
Yes, to deny that to China, one of the plans would be to bomb it into obliteration, just obliterate it.
Yeah, we'll just knock out that, or on top of that, we'll just say. And we will no longer purchase anything from that. We'll put that on a blacklist. You won't be able to sell anything from that, just like Huawei, right? You just say, nope, we're not using any routers from Huawei. If anybody else does it, we're not putting any of our communication on it. And it really neutered that company.
It did. It did. But every time, it's just like chess. Every time your opponent moves, you have to come up with a counter.
Right.
You have to counter and try to attack at the same time. There's nothing to say China didn't learn from that and come up with what they think might be a counter economically to to make it not matter.
Right, you just bomb TSMC
But if you
off the...
but if you take TSMC, just remove it from the earth,
It's $1 trillion in value.
then you can't. There's no coming back from that.
No.
And arguably, it would make the U.S.
So
manufacturing
much stronger.
yeah,
TSMC pretty
'Cause
much destroyed Micron.
because outside of TSMC, your largest complicated manufacturing is in the U.S.
Yeah. And Korea,
and Korea.
which they may also take.
They'd have a harder time with that because we
I
have troops stationed there. We have
really
bases
don't
there.
think that would be a problem.
No, that would be a problem.
Because they'd literally be attacking our troops, right?
Well, not only that, not only do we have troops there, but we also have equipment there, right? Because we're on a war footing, right? South Korea is still technically at war with North Korea.
Yeah.
We have
just in the
equipment. We
truce,
have we have missiles. We have anything you can think of. We have it in South Korea. So that wouldn't go so well.
I think what wouldn't go so well is it would be a direct attack of U.S. people creating a war. Whereas Taiwan,
But
maybe Taiwan's move is
there
to put U.S. troops there.
I would think so, but
Yeah.
that's not what Taiwan wants to do. But you have assets available right there. So if the attack happens, you're not greater than 48 hours from retaliating.
Right.
You retaliate right away.
Yeah, but I think the retaliation would be
deterrent.
so weak, considering how many troops are there and what China could apply to the area. I don't think that would matter. What would matter more is killing U.S. citizens directly creating a war with America.
Which would not be good for anybody.
No.
But they could take Taiwan.
Oh,
They-
yeah.
They could take it. They could do it quickly, and there's not a whole lot we can do about it.
Nope. But I do like the idea of just going, look, TSMC is not going to be a thing if you
Yep.
take Taiwan.
Yep.
It will be gone, whether we just simply don't use it or destroy it. Although the act would be destroy it.
Oh yeah.
Because it
No,
would...
you'd have to.
Not only would you have to, but it would benefit us greatly.
It would. And, that's a hit on civilian loss of life that I think we'd be willing to take.
I don't think it would kill very many civilians. TSMC is so automated. That's why they were killing us. Because they didn't have any particles while we were battling particles because they were completely self-contained. I mean, just forget it. 10 people would die if you destroyed TSMC.
I'm kind of canoeing a little bit.
Really? Oh, yeah,
And
a
we
little
don't
bit.
and we don't have much of a breeze going on.
No, mine's good.
So I'm going to
Yeah,
do
just
another
do a little
correction. It started doing it, and I corrected, but it just went right back.
Well, I know it sounds funny because we're long in the tooth here, but let's do the midway point.
I'm not even to the midway yet.
Yeah, I'm probably right there.
So
You know what? For you and I, this is a long smoke, and I've had other Gordos that are 6x60. The Brasilia, the Italia, they don't do this.
yeah, and
they don't give me
they
this
don't
kind of
last as
smoke
long.
time.
Yeah,
This is seriously
and
impressive.
it's
for
such
smoke time for me.
it's such an easy draw.
Yeah, it is.
I'm surprised it's not burning through faster.
Me too. But it's probably the press, right? There's
Good.
probably a lot more tobacco in there than you're accustomed to because of the press.
True enough. Or maybe a little less tobacco in there because of the press, and then you press it, and it comes out the way it's supposed to be.
I don't know, but
Right?
It's
Because
got a really long
you can't
burn
have
time
an
for
over
us.
you can't overdo the amount of tobacco in it if you're going to press it. Right? Because
This
you're compressing, you're making it
yeah,
tighter.
yeah.
So you don't want an over amount
That's
of
true.
tobacco in it because then you'll plug it. You don't want to do that. So when you do a press, generally you have a little less tobacco in it than you would for a round cigar. But you probably don't have to have that much difference because you're not
Hex.
compressing
You're
it
not
that
compressing
much.
it like a square press. This
Right.
is a lot less of a press. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
I don't know, but this is a long smoke time for the likes
Mm-hmm.
of you and I.
Yeah, so what's going to happen is we're going to end the show and still have plenty of cigar left.
I don't got a problem with that.
No.
I'm cool with sitting, having a cigar
you-
and not talking.
So what do you think about if Taiwan takes, or if China takes Taiwan by force? What is your opinion on taking out TSMC?
Absolutely. It must be done. Must be done.
No qualms.
Not at all. No. In fact, you might even do something like we did for the
'Cause
the virus we put into the Iranian centrifuges.
technically Israel, but go ahead.
Well, yes. So you do that because think about how all those tools behave. You could destroy every tool in the place and evaporate all the data without touching the place.
Yeah. So I've got mixed feelings on it. If they take it, definitely do it. But we will pay for it.
In supply chain
Because-
destruction.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It will have to cause a reset, and it will cause constraints on
Absolutely.
products.
We just did that though. We know what it looks like.
Because 80%?
But that 80% shut down during COVID too. So,
Yeah, which is why there's a problem.
right. But my point is, we're familiar with that problem. Now, can you
Well,
build a
true enough,
TSMC
true
in
enough.
a year? No.
True enough, but they can ramp up, start making, and start outputting.
Right. But
If
you would have to
if you
build the
completely
facility.
destroy it, you have to take that IP and rebuild it
Yes.
internally.
Yes.
So now any capacity problems that you might have just increase dramatically, right? Because you have to do that,
And build the fab
you can't
and
take
all those tools.
You can't take like that reticle set.
Right.
That reticle set that lives there. Well, you then have to have the reticles built.
No, you do it. I say you do it. Let the chips fall where they may. You made that bed, China.
I agree that if they take it, it should happen. But man, I wouldn't look forward to it.
Well, the other action is we
But I-
will
but
no
I think-
longer accept any chips made from that fab. Well, that's the same supply
That's the same.
constraint.
It's the same thing.
Only
yeah.
now it just turns to the black market and you end up using them anyway. And no, you destroy it.
Yeah, you destroy it. Yeah, we go through a little bit of hardship, but in the end, it would make America stronger.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just like Chinese fake honey. All right? You say, we're not accepting honey from China. And so all of a sudden we get thousands of gallons of honey from a small island that couldn't possibly produce honey.
Yeah.
Well, same thing. You
Yeah.
can't just say we're
It's a
not going to
back-
accept
It's a
parts.
back door to China
It's
honey.
a back door, yeah. See, that's why you just go, no, you have to destroy it because you can't say we're not going to use those chips because then all of a sudden the French will be selling us chips. And you're like, where did you get a chip manufacturing facility? Oh, it was very quiet. We had it for years. We just,
We
no.
just never sold anything.
No, you have to take it out. If you want them to hurt, you got to take it out. And yes, a little self-infliction. But it will be our strength that comes out of that.
I agree on all counts.
So I say
I really do.
I say do it.
Try to take off the band. Nice and easy.
Oh,
Band
yeah.
came
No,
off
all,
super
all
easy.
three of them were super easy. I didn't have a problem with the foot band. So what they did is they put a little sticker over the part of the foot band you would normally peel off.
Yep.
And I peeled the sticker off first, and then the band came off just fine. So there you go.
Works well.
Oh, so midway point. Transitions? Flavor?
Really no transitions. I'm still overawed in the fact that it is so mild.
I am too.
It's
After the transition, to
it's probably closer to a medium than a
yeah.
mild.
No, it's a
But
it's a medium mild.
what I mean
medium.
is
Call it a medium.
mild compared to the bold I was expecting
Mm-hmm.
from reading what it was made of.
But after the transition, I started to get clove. Hasn't transitioned. I'm getting nice baking spices and clove, and then all that other stuff still hanging around. I like the mildew and the must. And the earthiness. It's very earthy. It's an earthy cigar.
It is. I don't get so much of the graphite anymore.
I'm in love with this cigar.
I wonder if that was a product of lighting it.
I bet it was a product of it just not coming into those spices yet, and the graphite's subtle. The minerals tend to be subtle.
It's crazy.
My opinion, my palate.
Yeah.
The minerals tend to be subtle, so when something else comes in, you lose the minerals.
It's just crazy what they were able to do with this.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Super impressed. I'd like to shake the hand of this blender.
No doubt there. You know, when they finally made it and they finally got it, you know that they were like this.
Yeah, this is the one.
Yeah.
I bet they did.
Well,
This is probably one of the ones that's going to have a chip on it.
yeah, amen.
When's that coming out? I remember they were saying that they were going to put the code in, the chip, so you could scan it and look it up on the Plasencia app.
As far as I know, it was only one band. It's only happened on one band, but
it's their
I don't
demo,
know.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting idea. I just don't know if there's enough interest for it to expand.
I don't think so either. When he told us about it, I'm like, cool, that's super cool. And I'm like, but I would never do it. I just don't care.
Well, I would do it to try it. But what would be nice is if, like a cigar scanner, but one that still works,
Yes.
if they would recognize the RFID tags in the multiple bands, and then all you have to do is say, recognize my,
Right.
scan my cigar, and all the information comes up about it and logs it.
Well, Plasencia's going to have,
They're going to have their own.
the right. Well, they're going to have
but-
the rights to it for a while,
Yep.
and then I guess eventually it becomes
Ubiquitous.
a generic app that scans any cigar, because all cigars have it. I might do it then,
yeah.
but otherwise, I'm like, okay, I get it, makes
Well,
sense.
if I got a hold of one of those cigars, I would try it.
Yeah. Well, especially since now, Apple killed Cigar Scanner. Great app.
Yep.
Great innovation, great app.
Yep.
And they killed it for no reason.
Yep.
Well, I mean, they have a reason, but this is a lame one.
Well, I hate to say it, but it's time to wrap this up.
Okay.
Even though we just did the midpoint.
Lead us off.
Lead us off. This is an amazing stick. What they were able, all Nicaraguan, and yet they were able to get a medium, easy flavor, nice and earthy, but it doesn't hurt you. And the retrohale is just so amazingly smooth. Not something you would ever expect out of a blend like this, but you get it. This is just top notch. This is fabulous. And then the El Dorado goes really well with it. I wouldn't quite call it a primo pairing.
No.
But the El Dorado 12 goes really well with this. So much so that we barely talked about the liquor.
Yeah.
But the showcase in this show was this Plasencia.
I agree.
It was. Oh, here, let me throw. Now I say I agree. There you go.
I agree.
All right, man. Well, thank you. You did a good job picking this. So did the guys at Good Karma Cigars in Fort Worth. Check them out if you're in Fort Worth. You got to go.
I feel better.
Heck yeah.